Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're gonna go over how I made this beautiful castle cake. This is a very old video, so excuse the quality, but we're just gonna go over how I decorated it, not how I covered the cake with fondant because I'm still learning. But anyway, so for the castle, we're gonna be using paper towel rolls, and then I'm just gonna cover that with some fondant. Right here, I'm adding a little bit of water. You could also use edible glue or chocolate. And for the top of the building, we're gonna be using these sugar cones and covering those with fondant. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a little bit of a hard time to stick the fondant on there, so maybe you could also just dip it in some chocolate and then add the fondant. I think that might work better. But if not, I just glued this with some water. And that's how it looks. Now I'm gonna use some fondant for the details. I'm gonna be linking every mold that I use down below. They're usually from Amazon. And so this is gonna go around, like you guys see right here, around the paper towel. Again, I'm gonna be gluing that with some water, or you could use chocolate, whatever you like. And I'm just gonna go around. That's how it looks. And I'm just gonna put a little piece of fondant on top. Now I mix the gold luster and some lemon extract, and I'm just gonna paint the details. Okay, and to add some glam to my castle, I used this rhinestone chain that I got from Amazon, and I just glued that on with some water, and I went around and added 3 pieces to each one. So I wanted to add a little something on top of the buildings, and I decided to go with these angels on top that I colored with some gold luster. You could also do a flag or whatever you like on top. And this is how beautiful they look after they're done. And I glued that on with some chocolate. Okay, so for the door, I used this portrait mold that I had. It's pretty big, so it was perfect. Okay, then I went around and just made sure that everything was very well pressed, and use cornstarch if it gets too sticky. Now I used a small piece of fondant, and I just made the details to look like a door and just the line in the middle. As you guys can see, I'm just using a fondant tool. Okay, so then I took it off the mold. You could also use chocolate. I think that it would probably be better. But I just colored that with some gold luster again and mixed with lemon extract, and then put that over the piece of fondant that I already put the details on. Okay, so now for the parapet that's gonna go around the castle, I'm using fondant and this sharp little ruler that I think it's for fondant specifically, and I'm just kind of measuring so it could be the same size. I wish I could explain to you guys better what I'm doing. And parapet, that's a new word that I learned. That's the part of the building that goes around the castle. Now that I see it, you guys, there's so many things that I could have done better just for a cleaner look, but I was in such a hurry because it was for my niece's birthday party, or not a birthday, it was just like a dinner, and I was in a hurry. I'd like totally missed all these things that now are just so noticeable. But anyway, so right here I'm just seeing how I'm gonna put the pieces. I'm just kind of messing with it, and then once I decide where things are gonna go, I glue that with some chocolate. Okay, so I wanted to add 2 pots in front of the door. So right here I'm just cutting a whole bunch of little flowers, and we're gonna add that on a piece of fondant, and that's gonna act like a little pot, and I'm adding some details and putting a small hole in the middle. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and I wanted to add some green to the pot just because I needed some color. That's what it looks like without it, but I feel like it looks better with some green. And then I colored the side of the pot gold. And the bottom is also just fondant. And as you guys can see, I'm securing everything with chocolate. Okay, and I did add glitter around the parapet. That's why it looks a little bit darker. But close up, it looked so pretty. And now I'm just adding the pots. So I didn't show you guys this part, but what I'm adding on here is just the windows. And honestly, it was just a portrait mold with a piece of fondant on the back. It looks like a pretty big cake, but it's actually really small. And I did end up adding some fondant inside that roll because you obviously could see inside of it. So just keep that in mind if you decide to try this. But if you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I'm always on there. And I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions, don't forget to leave them down below. I'm always reading them. Well, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and stick around for more free tutorials.